live right now. Hey, Alyssa.
Look at my little squishmallow in the back.
Right it's here. A little bird. Oh, I'm
look
right. It's like it's that side.
He's a dinosaur.
Oh, I thought it was a bird. It looks like a bird. We're gonna, Alyssa, we're gonna let people join because I just posted it on my Facebook and my YouTube, so it may take a minute for people to join. Because it wasn't pre-announced, so I'm not really, and it's a holiday, so I'm not really sure how many people will join.
You can see where I brushed my teeth and wiped my spit on my shirt.
You're so funny. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put my hair because it's so gross. I'm cleaning coops today.
Ooh,
4 people around here. I am cleaning coops today, so it's really useless to go in there and wash my hair, considering I'm fixing to get chicken yucky all in my hair. We got 8 people.
How do you see how many people are on here?
Okay, if you look at the screen to the left where it says live,
yeah,
you see that 7?
It does not show me. I wonder if it just shows
you. Are
you.
You serious?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 9 people. Hey guys, tell us who's here so we can say hey.
Big old ears.
We're going to get started in a few minutes. I was just going to allow people to join. Haley, what are you doing today?
I have kidney stones.
What are you doing?
I have kidney stones, so probably laying in my bed.
Right?
Yeah.
So you got to wait and pass on. I've never had one, but I've heard that is the worst pain in the whole wide world. Are you drinking? And I was told you have to drink cranberry juice.
I haven't had to drink that, but I guess we can go ahead and talk about it since there's some people on here.
Yeah.
The other night, Andrew and I cooked, and I made chicken, queso, and rice, and it was super good, super yummy. Well, I got home, went to bed. Well, I hadn't fallen asleep, but around 11 o'clock, my stomach, it was like 11:50. My stomach was in the most pain I have ever felt. Really? And I was like, maybe I have gas. So I try to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, that didn't help. And I'm on the phone with Andrew. I'm squalling. I'm like almost screaming. I'm throwing up because I'm in so much pain. It feels like the worst period cramp you've ever had. And it's in your back and your side of your stomach. And it hurt so bad. And I couldn't take it after 2 hours. So I woke Mom up. And Mom's like, we need to go to the ER to make sure it's not your appendix or something. So we go to the ER. And we're there for 2 hours, and they're like, you have kidney stones. But they pumped me full of some pain meds. So I felt okay. And I haven't been in pain. I've just been uncomfortable until this morning I was in pain. So I took some of my pain medicine, and I feel good now. But, yeah, it's miserable.
I've heard blood. Terrible.
Well, I was peeing blood and didn't know why I was peeing blood.
Oh, my goodness.
And when I peed at the doctor, it was like dark brown and red.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was really bad.
If y'all there's I think 15 on here. If y'all do not subscribe to Haley's page or our page, please go subscribe first of all. We do videos on Tuesdays. What time does he post them?
They post on podcasts and like Spotify at 5 a.m. and YouTube at 8.
At 8. So, just if you don't know who we are or who Haley is, if you're my follower, Haley was my very first volunteer at Sneed's Farmhouse 4 years ago.
Was it 2021? I think it was 2021.
Okay, so 3 years ago. And we clicked. I mean, and so I feel like she's my daughter. and she struggles with depression and anxiety, and I struggle with depression and anxiety. And so Haley is been in multiple beauty pageants, and she is on a mission to spread awareness about the stigmatism behind medication and mental illness. And so we started this page when
It was
it's
last year.
I think it was last year, but I can't remember if it's been a total year.
I
But
don't think
anyway,
it has.
I'm 53. She's 18,
17.
17. And so we're a big age gap, but we have so much in common. And we just get on here and chit chat. And we talk about how we deal with anxiety, how we deal with mental illness, and how we deal with depression, and how we deal with life in general. And we're very honest. And, I've always gotten ready in the morning. Kayla. Haley, we just started getting ready in the morning, and it's like an hour of girl time, and we just talk about life. Sometimes we're on the subject of mental health. It always wraps back to that, but we just talk about life in general. Haley just graduated. Are y'all ready for this? High school and college at the same time. Yeah, she's brilliant. She has great ambitions of being a endocrinologist. Is that right?
Yeah, endocrinologist. Yeah.
Endocrinologist. And I just respect her in so many ways. And so that's who she is. If you follow Haley and you don't know who I am, I'm Judy, and I call myself Aunt Judy because I have Sneed's Farmhouse here in Coleman, and my farm's open to the public, and so I'm really busy. And Haley and I just come together once a week and just kind of check in. So let's check in because I haven't talked to you since graduation.
Yeah, because you've had a lot of stuff going on. So let's talk about what's all been going on
With me or you?
with you.
Okay. Well, things have been really rough with Larry. He has made a huge decline. His oxygen has been in the 70s on oxygen. How's that?
Yeah.
They said he's shallow breathing. They've had a hard time. His pulse goes from his resting pulse rate is 119. Yeah. So I'm having to make some hard decisions about his care and what I need, what's best for Larry, what's going to be safe for him. So I've been juggling that on top of having Sneed's Farmhouse. And I'll just be, I guess I'm really hard on myself. You know how we are, we're hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think I'm doing well. Like, I think I feel like I'm constantly trying to be okay. Does that make sense?
Like you're trying to be okay for everyone around you.
Yes. And it's like I'm okay. I'm doing okay, but it's almost as if we've got 30 people. I'm okay, but I'm not okay.
I get that.
I'm okay, but like I just feel sad for Larry.
And that's okay.
And the nurse asked me last week if I was if I was prepared. This is Haley. If I was prepared to walk in and find him dead. Because this past week, they couldn't even hardly find a pulse on him. It was so faint. And his blood pressure was in the floor, and it was just not good. And I've been trying to prepare myself for that because I know that it could happen, and there's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's hard when your parents are sick. But I've had that. But as far as my mental health, I'm taking it a day at a time. And I wake up and I'm on the struggle bus, and then I have to go, okay, what's bothering you? What's bothering you today? Like what are you worrying about today? So then I just kind of address it with myself, and then I'm like, okay, let's think about this, Judy. Let's think about what you're worrying about. And I just kind of do that with myself in the mornings, and then I feel fine. But is the second that I get out in my farm and get busy, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm
It's
good.
when you're sitting there thinking about it when it's really bad.
Yeah. It's just depression and anxiety is so weird how it creeps up out of nowhere too. Like you're be doing good, then all of a sudden you're not good. And you're like, oh, where'd this come from? Why do I have anxiety? So I try to just be aware of how I'm feeling and kind of address it with myself.
Yeah.
Okay, what have you been doing? How did you have anxiety graduating or anything?
I had a little bit of anxiety because I thought I was gonna fall on the stage,
Yeah.
and I thought my cap was gonna fall off.
Your
Thought I was
what? Oh, your cap.
I thought
Yeah.
it was gonna fall off.
Yeah.
It went fine. Both of them went fine. It was all fine and dandy. Got kidney stones. That wasn't fun. Figured out how much money I'm gonna have to take out for college.
That's stressful.
One of the most stressful things ever is knowing that you're going to school to help people, but you're going to be in debt for like most of your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Can you see
Andrew
the
and I are
comments?
doing good. Huh?
Can you see the comments?
Yes, I can see the comments.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
for saying congratulations.
Okay. I didn't know if you could see them because you're not seeing how many people are on here. So
Yeah, but it's been good. I mean,
what's
life's
your
going
next step?
fine.
Are you stayed at home and going to
I am
college?
commuting. I'm driving to UAH from home.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm working. Just as you said, one day at a time. Some days are worse than others. Some days are really bad. It's been rough with the kidney stones and stuff because I started my period too.
Oh,
So I've got like both of them going on. So I'm just a little emotional and like sad. So, it's just one day I'm good, the next day I'm not. And, I'm still getting adjusted to my new medicine.
yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
how long have you been on your new medication?
For the dose now, probably like a week and a half.
Oh, she
But
upped your dose?
in all, probably like 3 weeks maybe.
Oh, so you're on the same dose.
Yeah, I
Did
did a higher dose. I went from like 50 to 75.
I was going to say I thought you had been on it longer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm getting adjusted to it.
Do
Trying
you
to
ever forget to take your medicine and do you feel withdrawals or anything?
last Saturday, not like 2 days ago, but last Saturday I did not take it and I didn't realize it till I got home.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had felt like a little like sad,
Yeah.
but I mean, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, you do need to. You have scholarships though, don't you?
I got 2. I got one from a pageant and then I got one from UAH. It was merit based, but I've applied to so many and I haven't gotten any.
Well, that happened to Vance. Vanson got a couple of scholarships, but he was the same way.
Yeah, it's just
Vanson
it's
is my
really
son.
just whatever happens, happens. Like, I know it is in the good Lord's hands, and I know everything will work out, and I know everything happens for a reason. So there's no point in stressing about it because I'm just going to make myself upset and sick.
Well, I will tell you this. When Vanson went to college, I was single, and his dad didn't help me. And I can remember going, how in the heck am I going to do this? Like being a single mom, trying to do it by myself. And it's the same thing with you. You're sitting here going, how am I going to do this? I don't want to put burden on my parents. But I'm gonna tell you, at the end of the day, it always works out.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, I don't really know how I did it, because I had to pay $700 every month for 2 years, I think. And I didn't think I was going to be, I'm like, how do I pay my bills and his? I'm a single
Yeah.
mother, and how am I going to do this? But I did it. I did it. Somehow, some way, I did it. And so at the end of the day, it always works out, and we find ourselves stressing and getting upset and like worrying about life in general, and it always comes together
Yeah.
somehow, some way.
Yeah, and that's my thing, like, no matter what, I'm gonna go to school, and I might be in debt for the rest of my life, but it's gonna work.
Yeah,
It might suck, but it's gonna work.
it will work. And the good thing about student loans and stuff like that is they kind of work with you a little bit on payback and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You don't have to pay. I think Vanson's was, he had to start paying it back 6 months after he graduated.
yeah,
But then when he went back to graduate school, they deferred his payment until he gets out of graduate school. So they work with you. But it always works out. It
yeah,
always works out.
and I know that, and I'm not, like, worried about it or anything because if I worry about it, I'm gonna be anxious, I'm gonna get hives, I'm gonna scratch my hands, I'm gonna get
You
sick.
get hives when you get anxious?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, me too.
I had some, but I get clusters. They don't go all over my body. So, like, I had some right here the other day, and they'll just whelp up in a couple
Oh.
spots, and they just stay there for, like, a couple days.
Well, you know what's bad about me is
What?
because when I get anxious, it goes from here up. My
Ooh,
face turns blood engine red, and I have hives all over my chest, and then my body is normal. And so it's very obvious when I have anxiety, and it's embarrassing because I mean, I can remember when I was in high school, and like if I had to do a book report or something and stand in front of the class, I would have hives all over my neck, and they were like splotchy like yours. But then my
yeah,
face would be fire engine red, and people would always say stuff, and then it would make it even worse when someone notices it.
yeah,
And a lot of times when I go live, it happens, and my face is like firing. People go, "Judy, you look like you're sunburned." I'm like, "Yeah, I wish I was sunburned, but instead I have anxiety." You
yeah.
know? It's
I feel that.
oh, but I find now, I don't know about you. Does your face do it, or just your body?
It's usually just my body.
Oh, mine's my face. If I don't have on makeup, it's even worse. Like, a
Ooh,
lot of times, they can't tell if I have on makeup that I have anxiety because it kinda just blends in. It just makes my face look darker, like I have a tan or something. But when I literally am in the flesh and have no makeup on and have anxiety, you look like you need to call the fire department because my face is on fire. That's what it looks like. It's so embarrassing. But I thought it might be my, uh, like, menopause, but I went to
yeah.
the doctor and they were like, "Judy, it's not menopause, it's your anxiety." And I'm like, "Ah, dang." I was thinking
Same, yeah, I
menopause,
wanna
I could
change.
take some hormones and get it to go away, but it is 100% my anxiety. And I finally just told my followers the truth.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, but sometimes when I'm telling a story, I forget to breathe, and I just tell the story without breathing, and then next thing you know, my face is fire engine red.
Yeah, I get that.
When do you get the most anxiety? In what situation?
If I'm going to hang out with a friend
Yeah?
or I have to, like, walk in front of a bunch of people. Like, and not like graduation walk in front of a bunch of people. I mean, like, it's not that many people that bothers me. It's like when
How do
you're
you do
late.
pageants?
It doesn't bother me in pageants, but I guess it's because 'cause you're not, like, looking at the crowd, you're looking at the judges. But when you're late to church and you have to walk in front of everybody to get to because we sit, like, right in the front.
Yeah.
So, like, when you're late to church and you're having to walk in front of everybody.
And your anxiety just kicks in high gear.
Yes, absolutely. That and, just stuff like that. Sometimes when I wake up in the mornings, I'm anxious.
Well, what gives you anxiety about going out with your friends?
I don't really like hanging out with friends. I've done better. I've hung out with the same friend 2 times within the past month. 2 times.
You sound like me. Oh my
Well,
god.
actually 3 times because I went to her birthday dinner the other night.
And you did
So,
well, or did you have anxiety before you
yeah,
went?
I was anxious before I went, but I had a very fun time every time, and it was fun.
Once you get there, are you okay?
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean, I'm just anxious before, and then it's like oh, and then I hung out with some other friends at their house. It was Andrew's friends and my friends,
Yeah.
and we had a ton of fun. I just I get anxious and I'm like, "What if I say the wrong thing and they don't like me anymore?"
I'm listening. Hang on. I gotta get my dog on
You're
here.
good. That's all that bothers me.
Just say that again.
Like, I don't want them to think like, I don't wanna make the wrong joke or say something and then them look at me like I'm stupid. Like, I don't
Got
wanna be the friend they're whispering about behind my back.
gotcha.
That's what gets me, and I'm just like, ugh, because I overthink everything. Because Andrew's like, "Haley, you're fine," and I'm like, "Ooh."
I feel I'm just like you. If I have plans with somebody, especially in the mornings, I can't do it. I
Yeah.
literally can't do it. My anxiety kicks in high gear. You should see me before a field trip.
Yeah, I know you get stressed out about those.
Total train wreck. Total and the field trip always goes well. And everything always works out, but like the preparation, because I feel like I worry about it the night before. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to feed the animals? The parents are going to start pulling in at 8:30, and what am I going to do? And Kayla doesn't get here to 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'm gonna be doing all that. And I just start saying that without breathing,
Yeah,
and my anxiety goes through the roof.
I get that. I do that too.
Yeah, it's
Or you
awful.
worry about, like, little things have built up through the day and you haven't, like, faced them, and then they all come out at one time, and you're like, "I've gotta do this, I've gotta do that, but I've gotta do this, I've gotta do this, that," and then, yeah,
Yep.
you
It's
just
like,
spiral.
yep. Well, Larry started um, anxiety medicine. And he's he said, "This don't work." And it reminded me of the first time that I got on medication and I said it didn't work.
Yeah.
Because you think in the beginning when you get on like anxiety medicine, you're like, I'm still having anxiety. This is literally not working. It's just making me sleepy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, of course, I've been on medicine for since '06, so a long
Yeah.
time. And so I was thinking about back in the day when I thought the same thing. But what I noticed is when I got on medication, my anxiety would never go away. And then once I started the medication, I still had anxiety. It just the anxiety didn't last long enough, and it was I was able to pick up that I have anxiety and correct the problem. Where before I couldn't do that. But I still have anxiety on the medication. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that completely. Like, I get it completely.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
and I mean, sometimes now I'm like, I'll have a day I'm depressed and I'm like, "Oh, my medicine's not working anymore." And it's like, "No, it is. You just had a bad day."
Right. And you have to recognize that, because so many times, I don't know about you, but I try to pinpoint what's causing this. And like what I think is causing the anxiety is something that's not causing the anxiety. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah.
like sometimes I'll say it's Shane, and then I realize it's not Shane, it's that I ate a bunch of sugar and it got me all jacked up. And I have to go, like, really dig deep to figure out what's causing my anxiety, because a lot of times I can't pinpoint it.
Yeah, like, I'll look in my pill case and I'm like, "Did I take my medicine last night?"
Yes.
'Cause my
Mhm.
anxiety medicine, I take it at night because it's Zoloft, and a lot of people have to take it at night so they don't, like, get sick or something,
Yeah.
and, it's just I don't know, it's crazy.
Well, I think I think people with anxiety, I don't know how people with anxiety don't go to counseling.
Me either, because I could not do it.
I could not do that. I could not. And sometimes, oh, Kayla's here. Sometimes, she's talking to Larry, I think. Sometimes when my anxiety is really, really bad, I have to say, "Oh, I gotta call my counselor. I gotta call."
Yeah.
And then I call and set up an appointment, and then the appointment's not for a couple of days, and then by the time the couple of days comes, I don't have anxiety about it anymore. But
Yeah.
I've learned to do this. I've learned to get my phone and I go to my notes and I write down what I'm having anxiety about and what I'm feeling in the moment and so forth. Let the dogs out.
Okay.
They want to go see Kayla.
Hello, Stephanie.
Okay. But I've learned to write down what I'm having anxiety about. That way, when I do have the appointment, I don't forget what, because a lot of times I forget. So if I write it down, then I'm able to go, okay, this is what happened. This is what I was thinking. This is what I did. And this is how I tried to pull what tools I pulled out of my pocket to try to overcome that anxiety that was under attack, when I was under attack or whatever. And so then we're able to talk about what happened and how I overcome it. But people with anxiety that do not have counseling, God, I couldn't do it.
Like, I don't it's just like I like having someone that's like a friend that literally is paid to not judge me. I like being able to tell her everything that's going on in my life and the things that there are some things that your spouse was not put on this earth to deal with. And I stand by that. Like, there are some things they shouldn't have to deal with. There are some
Yeah.
things I shouldn't have to deal with. So, if I'm anxious for 5 days straight about the same thing and the same thing, I'm not gonna keep bothering Andrew because the pickle jar won't open. Like, sometimes it's, you need your therapist to just explain how you feel because they understand. Andrew doesn't understand when he's gotten better at it. Like, the other day, he was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Nothing." And he's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Okay, well, do you wanna do something?" I was like, "Yeah, let's play a board game." And, like, he's gotten better at it, but at first, like, if I told him I was sad for no reason, he's like, "That's not how that works."
What, saying because you were sad for no reason?
Yeah,
And he was wanting you to tell him the reason?
yeah, but he's gotten, like, better about it.
Cam, is it Cammy? You said
Kayla?
no, right here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I think most everyone has anxiety of some sort in their life. Some don't realize it. I think that I
Oh,
think that about myself. Like sometimes I don't think I realize it. I don't think that, like, I'm thinking in my head, what's wrong with me? Why am I so ill? like what is going on in my brain? And sometimes I don't even realize I have anxiety because there's so much crap going on, and I don't have time to think about what my feelings feel like in the moment because I've got maybe a field trip or maybe Larry or maybe Shane or whatever. And I'm like, I just feel like crap.
Yeah.
And most people want you to tell them what's wrong and you don't know.
Yeah.
And people don't accept I don't know.
They just want to know what's going on.
Well, it's because they love us, right? And they want to help. And you're like, how can how can you help me when I can't even help myself?
Yeah, and that's what's good about a therapist is they know how to help.
Yeah. Yeah. Um my anxiety can be short term too sometimes. But then
Sometimes, but others,
but sometimes it's like short term, but it doesn't go away and it happens every day and it's the same thing, but it only happens short times throughout the day. It's not
yeah,
all day. It's like every time I get a break and
you're
like no
anxious.
one's around or their anxiety creeps up and then it goes away because I go get distracted and then it comes back and then it goes away. It's like that's what I mean by short term. It's long term, but short term. It's
Yeah.
not long lasting all day long. It comes in intervals, is what happens to me.
That kind of happens to me too, but a lot of the time if I'm anxious, it'll be like the whole day I'll be really, really anxious.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I get the short-term anxiety sometimes too.
Okay. So, how do you, when someone tells you, when you have anxiety and you don't want no one to know that you have anxiety because you don't feel like talking about it, do you try to hide it or you can't hide it?
I usually scratch the back of my hand, so Andrew or his mom, they see that.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I don't
And
realize I do it, but I scratch really bad. Like, I have really bad scars on my hands,
mhm.
but I do that and they'll realize it.
um I'm trying to think, what do I do? I have an emotional wreck usually.
Me too.
I'm a crybaby, and like if someone like I'll be holding it together and I'm trying to pretend like I don't have anxiety, and then someone goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Bah!"
Yeah, exactly.
I start bawling because I'm like, oh my God, I cannot hold it together. But if no one notices it, I won't cry. But the second someone says something to me, "Are you
I'll
okay?
hold up.
I've been worried about you. Are
I
you
hate
okay?"
that.
I'm
I
like, "Please
hate
don't do that to me because I'm gonna bawl my eyes out."
Yeah, I'm gonna cry, and then you're gonna make me look like an idiot.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't rock with that.
Yeah, I'd rather people just not notice and let me deal with it myself.
Yeah,
Like,
me
just
too.
pretend like I'm all good.
Yeah, pretend like everything's going great, and
Right.
life is just
Everything is just fantastic.
it is phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to do that. I try my hardest, but, like, there's someone in my family right now that's, got cancer, and we, like, just found out and stuff, and we don't know all the logistics behind it yet, but, it's just hard dealing with it, and it's frustrating, and it makes you're starting and I feel like you can agree with this now. You're starting to have to grieve the person that's still here,
Yes.
and you don't want to, but your mind's like, "Well, what's gonna happen next Thanksgiving?" When they're not here, if they're not here. What's gonna happen when I get married and they're not here? Like, that is my person, and I'm losing my person.
Right.
So,
Very
it's just
hard.
things like that, and that's been causing me so much anxiety because it's like, it's all I can think about.
Mhm.
So, I
I
like what Taylor said, she distracts herself.
Yeah. I find when everything's on the fence, I don't do well.
Yeah.
When when everything is the decision has been made, then I can deal with it. But all this on the fence crap, I do not deal well.
I get
I do
that.
not. Mm-mm. I'm not an on the fence kind of girl. I need to just go ahead and make a decision and run with it, because when I'm back and forth, I feel crazy.
I hate making decisions.
Yeah.
I will do anything to avoid me having to make it. I will ask my mom and Andrew, I'm like, "What do you think I should do?" Because
Yeah.
I and, like, there are some things you have to make the decision, and I'm like, "No."
Do you not have confidence in your decision?
I guess, like, I don't know. Like, when mom was asking me if we needed to go to the ER, she's like, "Do you think we need to go?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like, because part of me is like, I don't wanna inconvenience you for having to go at 2 a.m.
And say nothing's wrong?
Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
like, weigh in my options. Okay, we go to the ER, mom has to stay up all night and go to work the next day, and, I might feel better, or we don't go to the ER, I'm in constant pain, mom's still awake because she feels bad. So it's like, I don't wanna make the decision and that be on me. I don't want it to be my fault that she was up all night.
Yeah.
But if she makes the decision, she chose that for herself, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. And if
Yeah.
we're choosing, like, it doesn't bother me if we're choosing where to go to eat. That, like, I'm not one of those girls that's like, "I don't know." No, I want Taco Bell every time. So,
You like Taco Bell?
love,
What do you
love
get?
a five-layer burrito with steak instead of beef.
Mhm.
But, like, if we're deciding if we're going to this place or not,
Yeah.
like, if we're gonna go golf or not, I'm like, "Well, I wanna go, but if you don't want to, that's fine. Like, you can decide what we do." And Andrew's like, "Well, what," like, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know, like, I don't want if something happens, I don't want it to be on me,
Yeah.
if that makes
You
sense.
don't wanna be responsible for it
Yeah,
if something goes wrong.
yeah, if something goes
Get
wrong
it?
or something goes bad, I don't want it to be my
Get
fault.
it. I get it. What are you doing for Memorial Day?
Nothing.
I'm fixing to go to my son's. He, smoked a Boston butt for me, and so
Ooh.
I'm fixing to go over there to Corbin's and get that, and then my alpaca is on countdown, so I'm going
She's
back.
gonna have it while you're gone.
She's in the barn, and I don't think she's liking it, so I don't know if she'll go today, because I had to I had her out in the pasture for a couple of days, and she seemed okay out there, like, she got used to it, but I could not leave her outside with a tornado coming.
Yeah.
So, I had to put her in the barn last night. So, she was fine when she went in the barn last night, but, like, during the day, she's ready to go out, and she's got plenty of hay in there, but it's Rio. He
Oh,
he's
I
doing
get
that
so
nonsense.
annoyed.
If he would quit being a whiny tail, she would probably be fine. But he's wanting out and being a whiny tail, and I can't leave her by herself, because then they're herd animals, and I don't think she would like it. So
Yeah.
anyway, well, it's good talking to you
It
this
was
morning.
good. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was fun going live.
Yeah, thank you for everyone that came and sat down and had a little talk with us, little girl
Yeah.
talk.
If you have anxiety, my highest I recommend counseling, definitely.
Yes.
I don't know if that's something that y'all have considered, but it really does help me a lot. And just like Kayla said, distraction helps me as well.
I
So
suggest
those are 2
finding the
tools
Lord.
you can put in your pocket to help with anxiety this week. But
Find the Lord, and it will help you out so much.
well, that is true. That is true. So I will see you guys later, and we'll see you next week. If you don't
Bye.
subscribe to the channel, make sure you subscribe to Haley's channel, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.